Okay. Virtual world. Is that the one that powers up network nodes? That would be great for the university. Now obviously none of these say under construction by the believers, because I'm restricting myself from building any of these, because it makes them stronger if I just hand them all over. Normally I like a bit of neural amplifier. I sometimes steal the hunter-seeker algorithm just to annoy people who want to defend against my probe teams. 30 a year at 115. Yeah. I'm doing very average economically. I'm doing below average tech-wise. But I've got manufacturing. I think I've got a decent population brewing. The territory I need, the resources I need. Neural grafting means bioenhancement centers. Slap one of them in my tank factory. Maybe make some better boats. Love a good bioenhancement center. It's all about the elite troops. So bioenhancement plus command center, or the equivalent, means you've got a commando troop right then and there. So all you need is one little morale bonus to push them over the edge. So if you're the Spartans, you've already got that sorted. You start with it. If you're a fundamentalist, it's another way to get it. No ships, 5 tanks, 5 watery probulators, 48 psy-core, 18 supply crawlers. Hopefully that supply of psy-core will do me for a good chunk of the game. I may trickle build some later. I need more boats. I need more war boats, except that I just captured 2, so for now the priority can be boats. Or probe boats, I guess I should say. I don't think these are boats. They are. Transfoil probe team, yep. Haven't renamed them anything special. But I did give them hypnotic trance. So they are worm proof. Worms do pick off your spy boats. At least as much as enemies, I feel. Sometimes I give them trance, sometimes I don't. It depends on the worm situation, the worm vibe. Seems like this is a very oceany map. They're going to have to travel some serious distances, and they're going to get worm heckled. It's great if they can fend off a worm. HQ needs supply crawlers for its own nefarious purposes. City number 3 has now become a tank factory. My headquarters is a place where I can move energy, pump energy into the headquarters. There's no inefficiency for your headquarters. Inefficiency is based on distance from your headquarters. So if a supply crawler brings energy into your HQ, you get all of it. You don't lose any to red. Every other city I look at, my inefficiency is burning through energy a lot. I get around that problem by getting most of my energy from forests via supply crawlers and then pumping it into my HQ to create an energy supply for myself. The trick to doing that is rivers, and to a lesser extent drill to aquifer technique of the former. A river is a +1 energy square in and of itself, and forests produce 1 energy, which is barely worth shipping around. But a river and a forest, that's 2 energy, that's worth shipping around. So all that hydroelectric power, channel it into your headquarters, and you can have a little bit of labs and a little bit of cash. So my headquarters is the only place that I'll build a network node and an energy bank and things like that that multiply energy, because it's the only place that's got the kind of efficiency to make it worthwhile. Everywhere else is barely producing any energy because I've got a planned economy and a sprawling empire, which combines to create some serious electrical inefficiency. But there are perfectly powerful tactics that just circumvent inefficiency. If using these sort of tactics, inefficiency just isn't a big deal. It's kind of like the way I've got no farms or solar. Depending on your tactics, it just doesn't matter if you've got no farms or solar. And sometimes it just doesn't matter if you're inefficient. So, shipyard, yes. City number 2, it was plonked down so early in the piece. One of my initial colony pods I started with became City 2. City 2 has now become a shipyard. Okay, what do you got for me? High energy chemistry, oh come to daddy. Level 3 armor and gas. Gas is evil. And Miriam is evil. Believer bonus and a gas bonus combined. Good lord. That hurts things. So, scrounging a little bit of energy for my headquarters. Disbanding some supply crawlers to create more tanks. Control H. Gotta remember Control H. A few handy shortcuts that Control H, Control D to designate a defender. Control DH, make him a defender and have them hold position. It's a fundamental one. Energy bank and network node. That's what the HQ needs. It's a pitiful effort of energy production and lab production there, but it's starting to have a little work applied to it now. It was neglected before. But now I'm starting to actually give it some energy. I need to put forests on those rivers. Double and triple checking. You've got a, I'm better off using river and forest, but that river and forest is right next to my HQ and is already earmarked, so it's just going to have to be some low quality energy slurping for now. Get my hydroelectric scheme working a bit later. Okay. Soften them up a bit. Half smashed probe team. Break in at all costs.
Important? Yes. Critical.
Superconducting
Absolutely.
Gatling laser.
I would go so far as to say that
Oh, but
superconducting
it was
hydrogen
worth
alone
it.
makes our present economy
This is
possible.
how
CEO Roderick
you,
K. Morgan.
Miriam.
Morgan linked
This is how
nuclear
Miriam's
fusion
supposed to
with invention.
work. Grab things,
This extraction
subatomic
of the
theory,
universe
boom.
regresses infinitely towards smaller and smaller components.
Promoted.
Behind atoms you
Promoted.
find electrons, and behind
Okay.
electrons quarks. Each new
That's how we
artifact
do it.
reveals new secrets, but also
That's
new
how
mysteries.
we rapidly acquire
Academician Prokhor
a
Zakharov,
whole bunch of
who I
tech
have
in a short
tasted the
amount of
food.
time, way faster than we could have possibly researched it. By being neighbours with a nerd. That's how we do it. Poindexter does our homework for us while we bully him. Dear, dear, bullied by the ginger girl, how does he feel? Okay. So the majority of my cities are now producing supply crawlers. Those crawlers can either pounce on a local mineral source and power up the city that just made them, which I probably should be doing a little more of, or they can travel to somewhere where they're needed. I can use a bit of Control H on my headquarters, turn them into a headquarters slurper for energy, or I can just drive them to my shipyard or my tank factory and do Shift D, disband them, and contribute to what's being built there. Which is one of my favourite tricks, and definitely isn't something you need in a player versus player game. If there are human beings who know how to play this game in your game, and they're potentially your enemies, or even just your frenemies, you need to make some decent use of supply crawlers, or at the very least you'll just be embarrassingly on the bottom of all the bar graphs and charts and things, and the who's who. Worst case scenario, someone will just come over and squish you. Supply crawlers are a whole another dimension of economy and productivity. They are pretty serious. So that's another supply crawler on a river hydroelectric power into HQ. Boost my incredibly feeble researching powers. Of course, my prime research mover is the mysterious ways of the university next door.
Production complete.
They're a great contributor to the greater
Power
good of my
activated.
people.
I think, and
You're
my
all
thoughts cross the
crafting.
barrier into the synapses of the machine,
My word.
just as the good doctor
Well
intended.
now, well
But
now,
what I
now,
do
well
not
then, well
shake,
then.
and what hints at things to come, is that thoughts cross back. In my dreams, the
Um,
sensibility of the machine invades the periphery of my
all
consciousness.
good?
Dark, rigid, cold, alien. Evolution is at work here, and just what is evolving remains to be
Sunspot
seen.
activity.
Commissioner Pravin Lal, Man and Machine.
What are you up to, Lal? So Lal's boats are also shiny and blue and have an impact cannon. I much like everyone else's. So that's kind of the state of the art of tech at the moment. Well, I do believe I have red armor. I have red armor and a better gun that I just stole. Probably not worth upgrading my tank, but maybe a better boat. We shall see. Got a handful of tanks. Half them undefended. I like dropping a city straight on a nutrient bonus. That works nicely. Energy slurping, mineral slurping. Lots of complicated slurping going on. Takes a lot longer to just get through a turn when you've got 20 plus bases and dozens of supply crawlers that need orders. Blazing through 40 turns in 15 minutes is no longer possible. And I've got a huge map to conquer, but that's alright.
Request transmission.
I'm giving them plenty of time to develop into something of a worthy adversary. Casually building up in my own little corner here. University as a neighbour. My isolation was obnoxious, but I can't ask for anything better than living next door to the uni. A little bit of eco damage I'm going to have to deal with there. Great dunes are turning green. I find that very satisfying. Okay. Mhm. 16 to 7. I like those odds. It's time to swarm Zach asunder. Oh. Oh. That's no good. Ah, the unbribables. Damn it. Yeah. Castling speed is too expensive, I guess. To the bottom of the ocean it goes. More data. Gene splicing
and Kenyan specify the nature
leads up to
position
synthetic
of
fossil
the
fuels and bioengineering and lots of stuff I really like.
What it can do is describe the underlying fractal
I
pattern
had a nice watch of
experiencing
tech
a
from
condition called
everyone's
as a house,
phone number
non-linear
and trade. I
dynamics.
was just able to buy tech. And now the University of poor sap next door, that's just a thing of beauty. Time to kick it up a notch. Fundamentalist probe teams. That's what it's all about. Alright. Massive flow of probe teams. he's going to start building probe defense in a big way. They're not just going to sit there and take it, but if I can grab as much tech as possible, I've still got 3 artifacts. So I can max out my tech and then start using them to give myself a tech edge. By Jove.
Therefore,
Doc
a wise prince will
loyalty.
seek means by which his subjects will always, and in every possible condition,
Machiavellian
his government, and then they will always be faithful to him.
shenanigans.
Niccolo Machiavelli,
That's
the Prince
glorious.
of the Last.
That is a wodge of science. That's a serious science power-up. Well, that'll do for this one. I'm pretty happy with that effort.